I do? I rested, vacationed, and actually I've been working on this English album for quite some time. So after the English album, we started to talk to different producers, and so the one that we felt we should go with was Rick Wake. And so he put a whole team together, and I met them, all the writers that works for him. So, I met with Rick Wake and his group of writers, and they were really awesome. They were all so enthusiastic about this whole project. And so there's Greg Lawson, there's Damon Sharp, and a couple other guys, Eric Sanicola. So we started to work on this whole album. It took, quite some time, and I felt like I moved to Long Island. I was there so often. I was there almost for a year and a half, just, hanging out and letting them get to know me. So the songs that we write would be as close to the truth as possible, like what CoCo is really all about. So anyways, so the writing process took a really long time. Of course, somewhere along the line we released a remix album for the Chinese speaking territories, and that was a lot of fun. It's called This CoCo, and it's really cool. Actually, the first day I met all the writers was really interesting because everyone was so excited. They feel that they've never worked with a Chinese artist before, and wow, this is something very cool and different. So we went to the studio, and it was just me, Damon, and Greg, and these are the guys who worked on J-Lo's album also. So it's more like R&B pop kind of style. They played me a couple of tracks, different types of tracks, and I'm like, oh, I like this one, or like, oh, I like that one. That one's hot. That one's hot. The song that we started writing first was So Good. That was the first day of writing. But before we write, we're listening to the track, I'm like, wow, this track is really sexy. It's like I could visualize something very sexual, And, let's tap into CoCo Lee's sensual side, the more flirtatious side. And I can't believe we're in the studio, and all of a sudden we're all talking about very racy stuff. Talking about strip clubs, and not like I've been there, but the guys are telling me the strip joints and what they want a girl to do to them, what they think is such a turn on, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe the first day we just met, first day they meet CoCo Lee, and they're talking about sex, and it was really weird, and so we came out with a song, So Good, that's pretty daring, probably the most provocative, the most racy song I've ever done. Definitely, yeah. We were very open, very honest with each other, and I would tell them things that's happened to me in my life, whether it's with my boyfriends, or with family, or with friends, like things that really stuck in my head that I want to tell people about these stories. And we'll just share all these like experiences in life, and and we wrote about them. Well, the writing process for me is exciting and fun, because I'm always inspired. The moment I hear like a part of the track, I'm like, oh, I got a great line, I know what the song should be about, I know the melody, everything just comes out naturally. But the pressure comes after we're done. Is it good enough? Is this song good? Is it a killer? Oh my God, are people going to love it? So that's when I get really nervous, and I'll play it for Rick Wake, and I'll play it for different people, and they'll tell me. And they always say, oh, this is hot. Oh man, this is banging. And so when I get that approval, so we just, we work on it some more and make it even better. At home, in the studio, everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. No, I know exactly what I want. Whether it's music or whether, sense of style, or what to wear, or with work, I always know exactly what I want. So they always think I'm a control freak. Yes, quite a control freak, and it's good and bad. But in the studio, we're in there from, let's say, from 12 until about 11 at night. So 11 hours, just sitting in there, chit-chat, and then we play with the song, and then we come up with ideas and just really try to nail it, really try to get something good in the studio. And but we all share that enthusiasm. So it's okay. They don't feel like, oh, I'm wearing them out, or like this is boot camp, CoCo Lee's boot camp. They feel like this is fun. And they find someone who shares the same passion to really create magic. Because I think in the studio is like creating magic. How we came up with No Doubt the song was this kid, 18-year-old kid, Eric Sanacola. He's sort of like a young writer. He just joined the group, and so the first day I met him, hey, what's up, and he's like, oh, I got some really hot stuff to let you hear, CoCo. I'm like, all right. So he plays it, and he sings this hook. I'm like, oh man, that's a killer. Oh my God, I love it. So he had the chorus idea, and I said, let's go with that one, and let's work on it some more. So that time was only me and Eric working on the song. We're in the studio, we're like, okay, what do I like to do? I like to dance. I love to dance. I love to go to the clubs and dance with my friends. And what happens when a bunch of girls go to the clubs, nightclubs, and dance? And you flirt. You sort of like, you try to get the attention of the other guy, a hot guy, and you like flirting, yeah, whatever. I know you want me, but ain't that gonna be that easy? So it's that kind of attitude. So I wrote that in that perspective, and how I am, if I'm trying to flirt, I'm trying to get at a guy. So the perspective is a girl who knows what she wants, and she's very much in control, and she's very flirtatious, kind of like a tease, and but fun, very fun, a fun girl. So with this song, No Doubt, we collaborated with two different rappers. So there's two versions. One is the G.O.D. version, and the other one is the Indian Blazzy version, and he's really awesome. We did the video together, and he's definitely the sweetest guy. He's very intelligent and very down to earth. So the G.O.D. version is really husky guy. Actually, his name's June from G.O.D. and we met a couple years ago in LA. We all hung out, and he's a surfer dude. He's super cool. And so back then I said to him, you know what, I love G.O.D. You guys are fantastic, and you guys are like the biggest group in Korea. I would love to collaborate with you guys one day. And I'm like, yeah, all right. So finally we finished the album, and I told him we need some rappers. I'd love to get G.O.D. and I called up JY, who was the godfather of R&B in Korea, and who I also worked with last time for my English album, and I asked him, can you hook me up? So he got G.O.D. to do this, and it sounded really good. Now the Indian version, it's got so much reggae style. I think it's like that reggae Caribbean tone that is just really awesome. I can never mimic what Blazzy did, because it's so fast. What he was saying was so fast, and really unique style, and I loved it. And he created that party mood to the song that makes people just want to jump up and dance. Actually, this was last year during my birthday, and so we're in Hong Kong at this place, and we're dancing, and about seven Indian girls came up. I guess they're also having a party, and they said, CoCo, are you CoCo Lee? Please tell me you're CoCo Lee, because we love you. In India you have so many fans. Please, can you take a picture with us? I'm like, oh wow, I was very flattered. I was very flattered, because the last album I didn't get a chance to go to India, but I've always loved Indian music. Especially their music videos are so elaborate, and it's just so glamorous. I love it. And I think Indian girls are so beautiful. One of the most beautiful women in the world probably are Indian girls. And so when they said that's me, I was really happy, and I told Sony that hopefully I get to go into India with the song, and people more and more people will like me there. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to going to India to promote. Yeah, that was a very difficult dance choreography. That Shannon from the States, he's really awesome, and he's worked with a lot of big artists like Missy Elliott, TLC, etc. And so I was very happy to work with him, and he did a great job. The dance steps are very sexy with a bit, it's got some Jamaican style in there, and it was very tricky, lots of fancy footwork. But I told him, I like to shake the body. I like to, something that's going to make the guy look, I think it's quite cute when a girl's a tease, because you're not giving it so easily, So I want to keep that. So the dance was sort of like teasing the guy, like you want me, but you ain't gonna get me. So I like that. This was when the whole album was completed, and I still wasn't 100% satisfied with it. I still want to touch it up and make it even better. So we hired Henrik. He's awesome. He's from Sweden, and he just recently moved to Hong Kong, and a great music guy. So we worked together for a pretty long time, cleaning up the whole album, just making sure it's real tight now. And I needed a ballad. I really needed a ballad that's sort of like a power ballad that showcased the voice, but yet that people can relate to, especially me. So we actually tried to write a ballad together, and he came up with the song called Magic Words. And I listened to the melody and the lyrics, and I think back then that's when I met my boyfriend, and I really could relate to the words, and it was so beautiful. It touched me. It really touched me, and I'm like, wow, I think a lot of people would love this song. So with Magic Words, the video concept is very, very interesting, because I've never done anything like it before. The whole thing is in black and white. So, and I have a fight with my boyfriend. You see, actually, I have a boyfriend. We're pretty happy. We have good times and bad times, and then we fight to the point that it feels like, oh wow, we're actually going to break up. And those emotions that runs through you, you miss the person, and you feel like, is this all over? That kind of, the sadness. It's overwhelming, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. But the next thing is, the whole thing becomes color, because he calls and he says the magic words. So I think that's a very beautiful concept, because this is true. Sometimes, in a relationship, all you have to say are those words. Whether they're I love you, or I miss you, or baby I'm yours, whatever it is. Every couple has their own magic words, but the moment you say it, then you feel so much more secure. You feel so happy. You just feels like that bond is so strong, nothing could ever break you guys apart. And that's something I could definitely relate to. And there's a line in the song that every time I listen to it, I feel it. What is it? I can get kind of low and I just want to walk away. It's like there will be times in a relationship you feel insecure, and you just feel like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. Whether you had a fight or there are flaws in the person that you just like, forget it. Maybe it's just not worth it. And then you just say the magic words, and then it feels like everything's okay again. Yeah. Or like, I know I could be a pain to you at times. I just want to find a way to compromise. A lot of these, like, it's just like, it feels like he was writing about my life, what was happening to me. And even though he wasn't, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that song. The concept for So Good for the video, we really wanted to make people go, oh, really drop their jaws and like, oh my God, CoCo is so different. And just really exploring my, what would you say, my flirtatious side, the more sexy side. And I like that. I really love that video. It's very daring. It's definitely an eye-opener. Because, at clubs, I dance a certain way. When I go to the clubs, I dance, that's how I dance. I dance kind of, like sexy style. And I like that. Whatever that would turn on a guy. I like that kind of stuff. I feel like my life is being exposed. You know, I could read about it on the internet. I could read about it on the newspaper or in magazines. Me having a boyfriend and our relationship. It's strange to me at first, but it feels like I'm being very honest. I'm being very, very, you know, real with people. This is my life. And I'm not hiding anything. So Exposed is like, with this whole album, every single song is a part of me, especially the ones that I wrote. You know, they are a part of my history. They are feelings that I want to share with people. There's a song called All Around the World, which was in the soundtrack of Charlie's Angel Part 2. That song, I wrote it really for my fans. I wrote it for my fans. You know, because I travel all around the world, and I remember when they send me to the airport, they always say, you know, CoCo, we wish we had more time with you. And if I could look at their faces, they want to tell me so much. They want to say things to me, but just they're shy or there's not enough time. And I will always remember those feelings that I have with them. I just wish I could stay there and just be with them and just talk and just enjoy each other's company, because I feel like they're my family. But unfortunately, because of my work, I have to travel all around the world, and I just want to tell them it doesn't matter where I am. I'm always their girl. I'll always be CoCo. I'll always be their big sister, or they like to call me 老大. In Mandarin, they like to call me 老大. I don't know where they got that from, but it's like, hey, the big boss. It's so really, it's funny. In between the first English album and this one, I did a lot of tours, mainly in China. You know, there was a lot of fun going to Shanghai or Beijing, just all these different cities, because China is so big, and the fans are just as enthusiastic as, you know, fans of Korea or Japan or Taiwan. They're all just as wild and crazy, and I love it. You know, being an artist, what you really want is crazy fans. Of course, not like crazy as in crazy, you know, crazy like they're screaming for you and they want more of you. And I love that energy, especially when you're performing on stage. They sing with you. Oh man, that's the best feeling. I remember there was one concert I did. You know, when the platform, the riser, went all the way to the surface, the stage, and I could see the fans. I'm like, oh wow, that's a big crowd. And when they see CoCo, they're so excited. They all scream at the same time. And when you have 70,000 people screaming at the same time, oh my God, it's like thunder. And you get an adrenaline rush. And from there on, you know, it's like I am possessed. And I just perform, and it's just so much fun. I love it. If I were to go on tour with Exposed, I think it would be a very racy tour. Something that's might make people think, ooh, she's really pushing the limit. And I like to do that, actually. I like to be the first to do, I like to be the pioneer at everything. And I think being an artist, especially being me, I like to, you know, start trends, or I like to do things that people won't dare to do. So it's been, you know, probably a little more than 10 years now for me. And the first album, when I released 1994, when I released that album, I remember in the studio, my producer was fighting with me. He said, you can't sing like that. You know, people won't buy it because it's so different. You can't have those, you know, those, which we call ad-libs, right? You can't have those because people can't follow it. It's just not commercial. And I fought with him. I said, no, this is my style. This will always be my style. This is the way I grew up. This is the only way I know how to sing. You know, I will not change my style. I can't believe I did that. You know, I'm just like, you know, I was definitely fearless. And I fought with him, and he was like the top producer back then. But I stood in my grounds, and I just like, I put my foot down. This is my style. And I'm glad I did that because it became my signature. This is my CoCo singing style, which right now everybody sings pretty much, you know, more urban, more R&B style. But I'm glad I was pretty much the first one to do it. I don't want to say I am the first one, but I know I was pretty much the first one for females to do it, right? And now, you know, for this album, I think we took it to the next level. And I think as an artist, I've grown so much vocally. You know, I listen to my old stuff and feel like, let's do it this way instead, you know. And every time I perform, I learn something new about myself or my voice, and that's how I keep on improving, by watching my old videos or old tapes or old CDs and listen like, that's how I should do it next time. And so I feel like I'm constantly developing my voice, and it gets better and better. For this album, I really explored my voice, my capacity, and what I could do with it, you know, different things that I could do with it. There's a song in the album called Got a Clue, which I did sort of like a Jamaican almost, and then kind of jazzy. A lot of the way I sing it was jazzy, but kind of like Jamaican. So I don't know where that came from, but when I listen to music, that is how I want to sing it. And so they felt, wow, that's unique. We really like that style. And again, with No Doubt, also it's a different tone that I use, which has a bit, I think, influence from, you know, Erykah Badu, maybe, that kind of style. And I'm a big fan of hers. Maybe listening to her music sort of influenced me in a certain way. But it definitely shows in some of the songs that I'm exploring different ways of singing. But I think the biggest difference compared to back then and now is, instead of just belting everything or every single line as an ad-lib, I think the ad-libs has a reason of being there, because it's part of the emotions that it needs to be expressed in that way. So it becomes part of the song. It's not like something, stick it on there, just so they're like fillers. No, it's part of the song. It's part of the emotion. It needs it. It needs it to be a song. So I think that is the biggest difference now that I know how to utilize my emotions with my voice to make the song even better. I think a good artist should constantly be learning, and to keep their ears open for, you know, inspirations, a certain sound. So this album, I incorporated a lot of Chinese elements in there. So there's like hip hop and the Chinese elements put together. It's got quite a chemistry, and it's quite good. I like that. So we're just playing with different sounds, and so whether it's ethnic, whether it's Chinese influence, they all were very unique. Every single song was very unique. There's one song on there called Music We Make. I didn't want it to be like a typical song. When we're writing this, I said, you know what? Let's not follow a format. There's a format to writing a song. There's verse, pre-chorus, a chorus, and then there's you know, a bridge, and then you go back to the verse. I said, let's not do that. Let's just listen to the track, listen to it, and feel it. Just feel it. Go with it. And that's exactly what I did. You know, I sing one line, and the other one I'm talking. And then there's no chorus. It's just a saxophone. This is what I feel is creating music. You know, writing a song doesn't have to be all about words. It could be just beautiful music. Whoever says a good song has to be all words. No, it could be just music. And the whole concept of music we make is, there's so many calamities in the world, whether it's natural disasters or wars and tragedies, it's just sad to see how people handle it during those times, during crisis. If only we could find inner peace. And I find music to be a cure for a lot of things, you know. And when you have music, it soothes you. It soothes the soul. It makes you feel better. It gives you tranquility. It gives you happiness. And that's what I wanted to do. That's why I wanted to create my own music, because it makes me happy. And I hope people listen to my music and they will feel happy too. Yeah, right now I'm more based in Hong Kong because my focus is still in Asia. So we have to fly a lot to different regions and you know, doing concerts and shows, and especially with this album, I really want to concentrate in Asia. I feel like I have been out of the game for a while, you know, out of that scene, and I just want to let my fans know I'm back. I've always been here, and I'm excited to see them, and I can't wait to spend time with them so, you know, we could just be like one big family, you know. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like to stay home. I'm a homebody. I like to stay home on the weekdays and, you know, somewhere where there's the ocean view. That relaxes me a lot. And listen to music, or hang out with friends or my family, going to karaoke. That's more exciting. I can never get away from singing. What else can I do? Or go away on vacations. You know, like going to Hawaii or somewhere that's warm. I like really warm weather places. Yeah, hosting, that was something really cool when I did the Asia Award with Shaggy. That was a lot of fun in Singapore. That was my first time really, and I had to do the whole show. That was fun, but at the same time it was intimidating because I never did that before. And there's a teleprompter. And I'm thinking, oh my God, if someone wants to mess with me and they just put whatever on there, I am screwed. And I see movies that people do that, you know, play tricks on people like that. I'm like, oh my God, like, what did I just say? And I'm still having a smile on my face, but thank God that didn't happen. So I always try to memorize the script anyways without just looking at the teleprompter, because you never know who might do a little trick on you. Mm-hmm. When you're a singer, you're pretty much a one-man show. It's really all about you. It's your talent, and you don't need to have You don't have to have dancers or a whole band. You could just have a playback track. You're fine. But with movies, it's a teamwork. It's teamwork. You know, you could be great, but you have to have a cameraman who's good, the sound guy has to be good, the director has to be good, and your counterpart has to be good. So it's not all about you. And another thing is, when you're an actor, it doesn't matter how big you are, okay? You will sit in your trailer and you wait until it's your turn. And sometimes they wake you up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You get there on time. Everything's on time. And then 4 p.m. they tell you, sorry, we don't have you today. We don't need you today. Oh. So you already been up like 12 hours waiting, sitting around with makeup, hair, everything done. And then they say, we don't need you. That's life. That is just the way an actor's life is. It's very tough. I didn't, you know, go into acting with the, you know, being pampered in mind. You know, I never have that kind of way of thinking. For me, I'm here to work hard. I'm here to do the best that I can and do a good job. That's it. What's my next project? I haven't thought about it yet. But right now, most importantly, is to make the best out of this English album. Travel around the world with it, to let more fans listen to this album and let more people get to know CoCo Lee. That is my mission now. Mm-hmm. have a goal. Know what you want in life and work really, really hard, because nothing is impossible. As long as you have the will and the determination and you're willing to work hard, you could achieve anything. I never think that I was able to be where I am today. You know, I feel very blessed and lucky that I have this opportunity. But I feel that I worked really hard to get to where I am today. And of course, with all the fans' support, and I couldn't have done it without my family, my fans, and my record company. And so I'm very thankful every day, but I'm very focused on what I gotta do.